Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. So today I actually went to the health department to get a much needed update on how our septic replacement is going. And I came home far more irritated and angry than I was when I drove up there. I could have called, but I had to go to the feed mill and it's in the same town. So I was like, you know what? Nobody is responding to my emails or anything. So I'm just going to go in person. So then that way I can just, if I need to, pull a Rosa Parks and just sit there and be like, nope, you got to do something until I'm not moving, not leaving until something's done. I basically found out that the entire system, the entire thing, everything, like with the whole grant process, has to be restarted because they have to change the location again. Because the woods are not a suitable place anymore for them to put the septic because of how steep the hill is and how many trees there are, that there's not a way to safely actually get an excavator up there. So in order for the grant to be able to go through, they then have to prove to the EPA that basically you can't get an excavator up a hill that's extremely steep, that's basically like farmhouse steps, and that there's no way to get one in here. There's not. It'd probably be pretty difficult to actually get a four-wheeler up through here and stuff if you were hauling anything. Like if you had a racing four-wheeler, yeah, I could do this hill climb. Like I've done it before when I was a kid. We used to ride all the time, so like, yeah, I could take a dirt bike up this, but like a utility quad, no, it would be very, very sketchy. So the system has to be changed. We have to change it to then having an aerator type system. But in order for the grant to be able to do that, they have to prove to the EPA or to somebody or something higher up than them that the only option is something that normally would not ever need to be done on a place with 2 acres of land, because it's usually with the aerator systems, which our neighbor has one. So if you're watching this, Tina, hello. So usually with that sort of a system, it's only designed for places that don't have the space for a leach bed. So since our property does have space for it, but everything is super, super wet all the time and is prone to failing, that's going to be our only option. But it basically is going to cause so much legwork and so much ridiculousness with trying to do the grant that it could take up to a year for it to get changed. We've already waited almost 2 years for this. So yeah, it's kind of frustrating. Our yard is basically like leaking sewage like nobody's business. I mean, like, it's just like everywhere. I have it fenced off. I haven't mowed around the fencing area to try to create some sort of filtration to try to help people that are downstream and wildlife that's downstream from us, because it actually does go down the ditch and then eventually to the creek. Pretty nasty-ish if you ask me. That's what we're dealing with right now. So basically the only real way forward for us is if we forego getting the grant, because then within a matter of a couple of weeks we could have the septic done and replaced. But that makes it so that way we have to pay for it out of pocket. So that means that I have to get the house 100% of the way done so we can try to have an appraiser come in, so then that way we can have a home equity line of credit given to us, so then we can buy a new septic tank. Because I think it's kind of funny because there's so many people that can milk the system, that can milk the government, that they can take everything that they want and they can just get everything handed to them in life, okay? The one time that Tracy and I try to do that, try to get some sort of help, try to get some sort of assistance, it bites us in the ass. Like, literally, all we smell is sewage. You step outside after somebody showers and then you're just like, what is that smell? Wonder why we don't have a lot of people over. Wonder why we don't have events. Wonder why we don't have bonfires. It smells like shit here. That's why. Yeah. So basically, if we don't want it to be like that, we have to pay a bunch of money. She suggested too that while we're waiting for the grant, if we want to do the grant thing still, that we should just start getting the septic pumped more often. And I'm like, well, how often do you think it would need pumped, since it's epically failing? Because it failed right after we had it pumped and stuff. And she's like, well, probably once a month. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? That's like $300 or more a month to just pay for somebody to remove our poo. Like, for God's sakes, when we lived in a camper, we shit in a bucket. Like, it just chucked it out the window. Not literally out the window. That'd be really gross. But like, I'm very frustrated. I'm very fed up. I'm very angry. I'm very irritated that, like, this whole situation, we either just have to keep dealing with smelling this and dealing with poo everywhere and all this nastiness and all the nasty water and all the stuff, or like do it ourselves. And it's just like, it's been the story of my entire life. It's pretty much like, oh, you don't like this? Fix it yourself then. Do it yourself. oh, you're asking for help? Let me slap the hand that's reaching out for it. Like, that's just pretty much like how it's always been. It's just been very minimal amount of help that we've ever received. We ask, people don't show up. We beg, people don't show up. Like, it just, even if we have money to pay somebody to come help, it's usually that they don't show up. So it's been pretty much a journey of learning to heavily rely on yourself only, and that's just been how most of my life has been. It's just been me and only me looking out for me, and it's just, I'm really just so incredibly over it. So yeah, I'm gonna work on actually cutting a hole in the side of the house so that way I can run the propane line for our stove outside, so that way I can have it be that it's set outside. So then that way, because we had a realtor come and she actually said that would be definitely something that an appraiser would flag for, like doing a home equity line of credit or anything of the sort like that, that's pretty much the main issue that we need to be able to do until, like, so then that way we can try to get a HELOC, so that way we can try to make it so our car payment doesn't have a 25% interest rate anymore, and make it so we have breathing room, and make it so that way we can actually, like, have non-poop smelling air to breathe. Like, it's just, I'm just so many levels of fed up, so many levels of frustrated, because it's literally been like everything that could go wrong with renovations has gone wrong. Everything that could, like, every curveball that could, it basically feels like spiritual warfare to me. That's how this feels. It's how the whole thing has felt. It's just been like, can you stand back up? Can you do it? If we put this much heaviness on you, surround you with so much toxicity and so much negativity and so much darkness, can you still shine? And I'm like, hold my beer. I can still do this. That's kind of how I am as a person. I just keep going forward. So moving forward, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I'm assuming that we're probably just going to say we're done and, you know, get the HELOC, get the septic in, and just be like, adios muchachas. Like, we just, there's too many things that I'm done. Like, I don't know. At this point, I'm just rambling, and I'm just going to do what I do whenever I hit a wall. And I literally, it's like I'm a broken record, and I'm like glitching out and just keep saying I'm done. Like, a lot of arguments that Tracy and I have had, that's what happens. I'm just like, I'm done. Like, this is like short circuits. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm very frustrated, very fed up, and I just, yeah, I can't. Like I said, glitching out, and I'm just keep thinking I'm done. That's it. But so yeah, I'm just gonna go pop a hole, screw a hole in, do some foam insulation, do a couple little other things, and work on painting the porch roof, because I'm like, I at this point, what else can I do? Because I can't do a septic. Like, I can do a lot with a shovel, but I can't do that. I can't do something that, like, is that many levels beyond me. Like, yeah, Tracy replumbed the house, but, like, that's so many more layers of like, that's a can of worms that we don't want to ever have the expertise to deal with, because that's just, yeah, it's just, I don't know. So anyways, that's it for today. I have no words of positivity except for I'm done. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a better day than I did. So have a good one, guys.